Welcome to Curiousaholic. My name is Haiko. I am here today with my buddy Evan.
Hey there, Earthlings.
So, before we get into today's episode, here is a quick rundown of how the podcast works. So, in each episode, one of us comes up with an interesting topic that they are curious about and reveals it live during the podcast in the hopes to spark a deep discussion and further our knowledge about the world around us. So,
That was like a stressful intro.
was it?
Yeah, it was like you brought up my anxiety with it or something.
That's good. I think I wanted that feeling actually.
All right.
So you're kind of getting the mood.
Yeah, as always, we get a
Exactly.
little teaser with the music.
Yep, exactly. So that was a little bit I played to give you a feeling of what's gonna come. But actually, just before we get into the episode today, it's kind of like a side note. It's not really related, but it's a bit of a news I want to tell people. I think especially you, because you're invested in it, literally. Actually, you know that Bitcoin went to 100K.
Oh my, I didn't even look at that. Wait, Canadian?
Well, no, the value went to 100K, and man,
Oh,
you should make sure to,
yeah.
it's
Wow,
gonna shoot up.
That's good news for me. Yeah.
You know what I'm seeing in your eyes, looking at you? I think I'm seeing FOMO.
Oh my. Oh, I see. Fear of missing out.
Yep. Actually, that's fake. That's not real.
Oh man, you got my hopes up. Okay.
Well, see, that's exactly the point. So today's topic is gonna be about FOMO,
Okay,
aka
cool.
the fear of missing out. So
That's interesting. I get that a lot.
I think a lot of us get that a lot, especially in this day and age of social media and constant news and updates.
And not being able to go outside because of the COVID restrictions and stuff.
Like, man, I want to go outside. I don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
Not this summer again. But yeah, so have you heard about the term FOMO before?
I had heard about it, but I definitely had to cheat and look at what it meant before actually saying what
You
it
look
was.
at my slide, yeah. So you've heard, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what it means, like what it entails?
Well, I guess like fear of missing out in general, right? I mean, if you have anything in life that you were excited about and then, that opportunity like slides by, then, you missed out on something, I guess.
Yeah. So you're fearing to not miss out on
Yeah.
something exciting.
Basically.
Yeah, exactly. So if we look at a little definition of it, so it's basically an anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may currently be happening elsewhere, and it is often aroused by social media posts. So being on Instagram, Facebook, seeing your friends up to something exciting, and you're like, man, I wish I was there.
Okay, so it's specifically about regarding social media.
No, not necessarily. It's just social media is a big part of it.
Okay, I got
that
you. Exasperates.
Exasperates, yeah, exactly. Thanks.
That's okay.
But yeah, so we're gonna go into it, look at what are some of the examples of FOMO, what causes FOMO, how to overcome it, and yeah, just give some tips about it and
Yeah.
further our knowledge.
Yeah, that's the goal, as always.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into it. So some of the examples of FOMO, so people can have a fear of missing out on a vacation, for example, seeing your friends going on a vacation, partying with friends. Oh man, this guy went at a crazy party. I wish I was there. A sporting event, the latest news, nowadays there's constant updates with news, crazy deals on shopping. Oh, 50% off. You better not miss on this.
50% off the protein powder I made you buy.
That was a good deal, man. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I was having a bit of FOMO, not gonna lie.
Yeah, there you go.
So, see, that's
I
an
had to hook
example.
you up.
No, that was a good deal. Sometimes it's nice to have a little FOMO,
Yeah.
but we're gonna look here how to, not to constantly feel that feeling. The other FOMO that you can feel is on investment opportunities, just like I made you.
Yeah. Got me excited about Bitcoin and then, you crushed my hopes.
Sorry, man, but who knows, man? That thing is crazy. It can go up any day, and who
Yeah.
knows? Yeah. it can also be FOMO can also be with new movies, TV shows, always wanting to keep up to date with that, and just many, many more examples. So a question related to that. So what are some of our own personal FOMOs that we get? Like, what would you say for you, particular? What do you feel FOMO on?
Yeah, I guess like a good opportunity to like be with my friends and stuff. If I see like too many people like being together and hanging out, and I feel left out or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. That's
Yeah,
that's the stereotypical.
yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm not too much of a like sociable like person. I'm pretty quiet and stuff. But yeah, a lot of my friends are together and I'm not there, sometimes it's like, oh, I wish I was there with them as well.
Yeah. So you don't want to be left out of that social group. Okay. What else besides like the social friend aspect? Is there anything else you?
I don't know. I get that with a workout sometimes. It's like, man, I missed my workout today. I wish I could have
You don't want to miss
done
a
it.
day.
Yeah, missing the opportunity to go to the gym all the time now that they're closed. That's sad.
That's true. Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes FOMO can be advantageous if it, helps you in a certain way, makes you prioritize, which we're going to look further down in today's episode on how to, maybe use FOMO for your advantage instead of
Yeah.
always feeling sad and depressed and I'm always missing out on everything. But yeah, if I could answer the question for me, yeah, I'm not as social as well. Like, yeah, I like hanging out with friends, but I'm not as like, oh man, I wish I was partying with them. I'm more kind of house type of guy, just do my
Yeah.
own thing. What I would say, like lately, I've been having FOMO on a bit is with the news. I would say I'm always trying to like keep up to date with the news, especially since last year when COVID hit and just the sheer amount of things happening in the world. It was insane. I mean, you can attest to that. It's just
Yeah. Pretty sure everyone can, right?
everyone can. Yeah, every month in 2020 there was some new thing happening, COVID, an explosion of, people dying, police shootings, etc. And I was always like, I need to.
Yeah. In those circumstances, I'm like happy of missing out. It's like
You're happy.
I'm happy about not seeing all those news segments about.
That's well, I guess that's good then. Yeah, you want to miss out actually on
Yeah.
them. But yeah, I would say with the news, what else I feel sometimes FOMO on? Yeah, maybe with movies and TV shows as well. Lately, I've been like watching a lot, and I'm like, oh, I want to catch up to the new episode. Binging sometimes.
Yeah.
You just want to not miss out. Everyone's like, oh, did you see this new show, this new movie?
Yeah.
It's true. There's a lot of good content out there, but we just have so much time during the day.
Yeah. But like you're saying that you're not like so much of a social person and all that. But I feel like those things that you just named also comes down to, fitting in a certain way, right? I mean, like you want to fit in with everyone that's like following the news and like knowing what the world's about right now, and you want to be in that group, and you want to be in the group of people that follow a certain show, and you want to catch along as well. So I think it all kind of ties in.
I think that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, that's right. It's a feeling of trying to fit in, I guess.
But I think that's just because we're human, right? I mean, everyone wants to fit in to a certain degree. That's all we are.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. I would say so. Yeah. Sometimes maybe I would say when I was younger, I didn't partake in a lot of social activities with friends, and now maybe I'm trying to fill that void by trying to partake in like the news and whatnot and staying up to date.
Yeah. That's just your way of expressing that, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
possibly. Yeah, maybe some people. Yeah, they always spend time with friends, and they have FOMO when they don't hang out with friends because that's their social aspect. Maybe mine is more, globally and more
Yeah.
broader.
but sometimes I actually get FOMO of like alone time. It's like when I'm with people too much, it's like I'm missing the opportunity of being on my own and, being in
That's
my own.
interesting.
Yeah.
That could be another feeling
Yeah.
of FOMO.
I
Yeah.
get that sometimes. It's like, man, I just want to do my thing, today, or
Okay,
sometimes
okay.
I miss that.
True. Yeah, me too. I would say if I spend a lot, with friends and social groups, I'm like, okay, enough. I don't want to miss out on the time on my own to
Right.
reflect on myself.
Because that's the most important thing, right? I mean, you're like, without being selfish by any means, I just mean like, yeah, being with yourself and growing as a person, right? That's the most important thing, I think.
I would say personal development happens during those times,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, because when you're with friends, you're mostly distracted. You're in the moment. You're having fun. You're not having the time to reflect and be like, man, what do I value? What do I want to do in life,
Yeah.
etc.
Exactly. Like sometimes I'm just like, man, I miss playing guitar, like by myself. It's
True.
just like,
True.
or you probably get that with your piano, for example, or whatever,
Just my music in
or
general.
mixing your music, right? Like you probably get that as well. So
Yeah, yeah. Just focusing on my own hobbies and my own likes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad thing to have that. Definitely.
yeah, I agree.
So yeah, so those are some of the examples around FOMO. Now let's look at what causes FOMO. There's a few things. The high usage of social media, obviously, like today, there's just so many apps you can delve into. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Reddit. Oh my God, it's endless.
Stitcher.
Stitcher. Well, you can listen to our podcast on Stitcher if
Yeah.
you want. Yeah. No, but I mean, like, social media is where there's posts and updates about things. Yeah, you find that it's a lot to handle, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom just told me today to like download WhatsApp. Like I don't even know who uses WhatsApp. No offense if you use that, but like
A lot
she's
of
like,
people do. I've heard a lot of people. I've just never found the use
she's
for
like
it.
download WhatsApp so you could be in the family group chat. I was like, well, do I really need a new group chat? But whatever. Yeah, to make them happy.
Just ask her to come on Messenger.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's like, no, you gotta adapt to our social media platform. I'm like, all right, I guess.
Don't I already have enough, mom?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So using a lot of social media apps obviously exasperates the feeling of FOMO because you just have an endless supply of things to fear you're missing out on. Your
Yeah.
friends going out doing things or just random people. Like if you think of it, people who lived before the 2000s even, you would barely be able to know what people around the world did, but now you
Yeah.
have access to anyone.
Yeah, it's crazy because we live in a new world that wasn't even there like 20 years ago, maybe
True.
25 years ago.
Which isn't a long time.
It's not a long time.
Like the world and our life changes so rapidly that us humans, we're not even able, we
Yeah.
don't have time to adapt.
And I think that COVID like happened. I know it's a bit of a tangent, but
Yeah.
I think social media also like increased the fear of COVID and all that stuff, just because it was all over the place, right? I mean, on all the platforms, everyone's seeing everyone with masks and stuff, and then
Okay.
so it did make it grow, I think, to an exponential degree.
Well, yeah.
in my opinion.
Well, obviously, social media helps anything viral to grow. No
Get
pun
it?
intended. You got it. Yeah.
I got it.
So yeah, using social media often definitely increases feelings of FOMO. Having unhappiness in one's life. So researchers have found that people who are generally unhappy will feel FOMO, whereas normal people will have the feeling, but to a lesser degree, and will be able to self-regulate better. So yeah, people being unhappy, they just go into this vicious cycle of going online, wanting to feel like you're part of something, but you end up missing out on a lot of things, and then you feel worse about yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, social media definitely creates that vicious cycle. Another cause is like having a misguided attention. Basically, a lot of people in our day and age always focus on the outside, what others are doing. We never like try to have some times on our own.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think people should maybe spend more
That's
time?
the thing. Yeah, like I said earlier, I mean, I think it's really important to be with yourself sometimes, right? And not to just worry about what everyone else is doing and what meal someone had on Instagram and he posted it, and like no one cares. right?
Nobody
I mean,
cares. I mean, no offense, but it's just to the broader view of my life or of someone's life, it doesn't change anything. It's cool. You should enjoy the meal for yourself in the moment, but sharing it with people and others being like, oh, I wish I was having that meal, it's kind of ridiculous, right?
Yeah. Or there's the other like spectrum of people that are trying to, always motivate others on Instagram. Like, hey, I'm at the gym at 6 o'clock.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
yeah. Don't be that guy. Nah, I'm joking. You can do whatever you want, but I'm saying, yeah, like you need to.
I think it's up to the person who's using the platforms to maybe try to
kind of sort things out, right? Like, yeah, should I spend too much time on social media and be influenced by what other people are doing, or can I be spending my time more efficiently and doing my own thing?
Yeah. So as you see, our attention is very valuable, and I think our attention determines a lot about how we feel.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
so yeah, so having a misguided attention, it's not like, it's our fault, like we failed in life. It's just, it happens. Social media is so enticing that we just, gravitate towards it and put a lot of our attention. Yeah.
I feel like I get like a FOMO feeling of like past events. Like I wish I was there again, or I wish like it was like this again. Like today, I just an example. Like I went to walk with one of my friends near like an old tennis court, and I remember we used to play there all the time and stuff. And I was just like remembering, almost like a deja vu.
Okay.
And it was like, man, I wish we could go back to those times where we used to play like all the time. And
So I guess like a nostalgia.
yeah, like almost like a nostalgia. Maybe it is a bit different, but
Okay. I see.
missing out on the old times,
Yeah. You're okay. You fear to miss out on the good activities that you did in the past.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
You get that a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's nostalgic.
It's more nostalgic,
Feeling
but
nostalgic.
it's a bit similar, I find.
Yeah, it has some similar aspects. You don't want to miss out on doing those things like in the future or now.
Yeah, you want to have experiences like that in the future, like you did kind of like in the past.
Yeah, you don't want it just to be in the past, basically.
Yeah, you want that to happen again. So it's
Okay.
almost like you're missing out, right?
Okay. Yeah, that could be a way to look at it, definitely. That's cool. Good for bringing that up. And and the last cause, I mean, it's not really a cause, but it's just being human, really.
Yeah, it comes down to that, I think.
I was watching a TED Talk, and I forgot, I think his name was Bobby Mook, some man who was giving that TEDx talk, and he was saying that people have felt FOMO for ages. He said even during the Roman times, they had chronic FOMO because it was very hard to know what was going on. And I forgot what the name he gave, but one of the Roman emperors, I forgot who he was, had apparently tons of his men in different cities, in different plazas and places near houses, just to be aware of what was going on constantly.
Wow.
Of all the dramas, the gossips, the developments. So you see, it's a human trait.
Yeah, I could imagine it being around for so many years. I mean, humans, that's how we are. We always kind of want more,
But it also it links to being curious,
Yeah,
right?
that's what it is. It comes down to that.
That's what we're about as well.
That's why we started this podcast, because we had like incredible FOMO, and
Incredible. We don't want to miss out on any of the topics. Yeah.
we just wanted to know everything about everything.
Have knowledge.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I mean. It relates to human curiosity. It's just innate. You can't get rid of it. You're always gonna have FOMO. Just to let people know, you can't cure FOMO.
Yeah. There's not like a special pill.
No, you're always gonna have it. You just have to find ways to, not always fall trapped to it. Okay.
Okay, so I know what you're coming, like you're gonna say. We should change the name of this podcast to FOMO.
Really? No. I think Curiousaholic works pretty well.
I like it.
But maybe if one of you want to start a podcast, sure. I'm not sure. Is there the podcast
I'll
called
watch
FOMO?
it.
Yeah, sure. I'll watch it too. But I feel like somebody must have took that name.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah. Anyways, so we saw some of the causes. Now let's look at how to overcome FOMO. So on my slide, you're seeing the image of Freddie Mercury from Queen.
Queen.
Can you guess why I put his picture?
I can't.
You're like, why is there Freddie Mercury's picture? Well, he's got that song that goes, I want to break free.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
I want to break free.
Well, that's a way to incorporate more music into it. I
Oh,
see
there
what you
you
did
go.
there.
Yeah. So, Those are my singing skills, people. So yeah, he has a song that says, "I want to break free," and we're gonna look how to break free from FOMO. Get it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So
Let's rid ourselves of FOMO.
it's like a disease. Yeah. First thing you can do instead of having FOMO, have JOMO. You know what JOMO is?
Okay, so if FOMO is fear of missing out,
You actually were close in the beginning. You said something, and I was like, oh, okay. So you don't want to have the fear of missing out. You want to have the
feel
no, it starts with a J.
man, I don't know.
The joy of
okay.
missing out.
Interesting.
See? It's because you were saying like, yeah, sometimes I'm good. I want to miss out on things.
Oh yeah, when I was talking about the news.
Yep,
True.
exactly. So some people, yeah, they practice JOMO. They just say, you know what, I don't care. Whatever I miss out on some of the news and things, if it's important, then it'll show up later on. It was another TED Talk I watched. I forgot what the lady's name was. Sorry, there's a lot of names to remember. But the lady was saying basically, in our day and age with the constant news and updates, there's always the peak of the news, then it goes up and people are talking about it, then it dies. And it usually lasts a few hours. And she said that if a news is really important and something that people should know, then it will be viral, but then throughout the time, it will become it would be like a fact, like an information that people would know. Not just like, oh, here something happened and then we forget about it in a week.
Yeah. That makes it. That's kind of the general trend. Yeah, I would agree.
Right? Like, let's say people who watch constant news about COVID. Like, okay, COVID happened, right? In the beginning, we were like, oh, what type of virus it is, blah, blah, blah. But constantly being updated about COVID, what does it give us?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing, really.
That's why I have JOMO or whatever it's called.
Yeah, you have JOMO.
JOMO about that.
You have JOMO for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So yeah, I think that perspective that lady gave was good. That she just said, just don't worry about it. If it's something important, then you will know about it further down the line.
Either way, you're gonna find out if it's that important, right?
Exactly. So being constantly updated by news and whatnot in posts, it doesn't add to your life. You
Yeah,
should spend,
I agree. That's good advice.
The other thing is to practice gratitude. Oh man, do we miss that?
Yeah, it's important.
Right, because you see what others have, what others do, and you're always like, oh, I wish I was doing that. I wish I had more, more, more. But you never say, what about now? What do I have? My family, my friends.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think people should practice gratitude a bit more? And
Yeah, you should be grateful for what you have. I mean, what you built in your own life without, having to worry about what others do on social media or what the news reporter has to say on CNN, or something.
Exactly. It's not always important, basically. Yeah, just to practice gratitude, focus on the inner, like we said, to have personal growth, self-reflect, and prioritize your values. Basically, I think FOMO is not a bad thing. It actually helps you sometimes to see what is important in my life.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, right? To have time for myself, or oh, I should be playing guitar, because you see that you value that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think FOMO could almost be like kind of to, relate to our last episode, almost like a form of motivation. Like if you are missing out on something, then what can you do to achieve that,
You know what? I did get a bit inspired.
Oh,
So this
yeah,
is
there you
a
go.
little-
That's like a part 2 of it.
Sort of, yeah, a spin-off of the self-motivation episode.
But it's true. I think it could be used as a motivation, right? If you are missing out to like a really high level, then you have to figure out why and how you could, get that eventually.
But that's good, yeah, because let's say, I don't know, you want to play your guitar, right? And if you're partying with friends and you're constantly having FOMO about playing your guitar, then you see, okay, I should motivate myself to continue and practice.
And practice. Yeah, exactly.
Right? So I think prioritizing your values and seeing where that anxiety that you're feeling directs you, then follow that instead.
Yeah, if I could give a good example of that, for me it was like, with COVID, all the gyms being closed and stuff.
Yeah.
That like I miss that every day because it's such a big part of my life Then I was like, you know what? I'm done waiting, and I built my own gym. You know, so it's like I was so fed up of waiting. I was like, what am I
Missing
gonna
out.
do? I was missing out all the time. I was like, what am I gonna do to fix that? All right, let's do it.
Look
You
at
know,
that. That
that's yeah,
that's cool. No, that's a good. I didn't think of that.
yeah,
That because you were just fed up of missing out on working out. Because yeah, the gyms here were closed for so long
yeah.
that
Still are.
yeah, they're still
Yeah,
actually. Um, that me too. I was like, man, I don't want to miss out. Like I do want to work out. Yes, we worked out at home, but it's a bit different. It's not the same, and you want to have that kind of progressive overload that you get. But no, that's cool actually. So it
yeah,
made you realize something and make a good investment on your
yeah.
health.
Exactly. I mean, you could only miss out to a certain extent before going crazy. I mean, that's kind of what it got to for me. But
You're
yeah,
like, I gotta end this. I can't have
yeah,
FOMO with the gym.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it ended.
All right. So just to kind of before we get to our conclusion in a bit, there's a quote. Also got inspired from your last
Oh yeah,
episode to
let's
put my
go.
own quote here, which I think is really good and kind of just gives a good insight on how to just feel happy in
Yeah,
general. So this is a quote from author named Paul Dolan. He wrote a book called Happiness by Design: Change What You Do, Not How You Think. So he's more about, don't try to use willpower to change the way you are. You're always going to have FOMO. You're always going to feel a certain way. Just, change your perspective a little on things. So the quote goes a little like this. So he's saying, your happiness is determined by how you allocate your attention, right? We mentioned that. What you attend to drives your behavior and it determines your happiness. Attention is the glue that holds your life together. The scarcity of attentional resources means that you must consider how you can make and facilitate better decisions about what to pay attention to and in what ways. If you are not as happy as you could be, then you must be misallocating your attention. So changing behavior and enhancing happiness is as much about withdrawing attention from the negative as it is about attending to the positive.
yeah. That's a really good message.
Right. So you agree with that?
Yeah,
What do
hundred
you
percent.
think? Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Just don't always constantly look at things to do and the negatives. It's just gonna then circle back to your own life and make you feel miserable and upset.
Yeah. So pick and choose what you want to be worried about. Almost, you know, like don't put too much attention on where you could be in 10 years, and you know,
Yeah,
it's
or
just
doing things that are just not in the scope of your own life.
yeah,
Someone's on a yacht somewhere, and you're like, "Oh, I wish I was on that yacht." Really? Do you want to? Does it? Oh, I
yeah,
wish I was at the Oscars with all these celebrities. Do
yeah.
you?
Like be reasonable and realistic in a sense.
Yeah. Assess the needs in your own life. Exactly. So yeah, I think that was a great quote about how to allocate our attention. All right, so just to kind of conclude, so what are the thoughts would you have about having FOMO, how to avoid it, and what tips would you give?
Yeah, well, I
Just
think
to
we
recap.
covered it pretty well. I mean, yeah, I think the most important is, be grateful for the time you have with yourself and grow as much as you can as a person. I feel like that's a common theme in our podcast. We always talk about that, but
Yeah,
it's super important.
we're about personal growth as well. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, personal growth is important, and yeah, not wanting to be, where someone else is in their life, right? Like not wanting to be like a famous celebrity every day, and yeah, just focus on making yourself better, and maybe one day you'll reach that level of success also, or
Or
being
maybe,
with yeah,
yeah,
being with your friends in general, like being with yourself is the most important thing, I think.
yeah. Obviously, first of all, be with yourself. Prioritize your attention on what matters. That's one of the points I want to say. And also, I was reading an article, a Time magazine article, who was saying that try to spend some time with your friends and be in the moment. Put your phone away, just enjoy the moment, and do activities with them. Keep in touch so you don't always have that fear of missing out. Don't always, seclude yourself, right? Yes, I know I'm more of a house type of guy. I don't socialize, but sometimes it's good. Sometimes even I need to
Yeah,
get
it
out
is
of the
important
house
too.
and put time for my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could only be alone to a certain degree, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
to be around other people too.
Yeah, it's a social aspect. The gratitude aspect definitely is a big. I think if there's one thing people could practice is gratitude
I agree
for
entirely.
FOMO. I mean, we're so materialistic in our age as well. Oh, I want to get this car, this thing. Oh, why does this guy have this? I don't have this. Just be grateful. Like someone was saying in that article I was reading that, okay, let's say if we take your friends, family, your house away, then what would you want? Yeah, those things back.
Yeah, you got to be you got to be grateful for what you have. I mean, I think COVID, put us in our place in a sense, right? Took away everything we valued, like, and we appreciated and almost took for granted, and then stripped us down to just like the minimum, right? Like, your house, your family, and that's it.
True, true. I think in a way it helps us realign our priorities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it did. But obviously, there's a caveat to that, right? I mean,
it's not perfect.
it's not black and white. We need to have a middle ground somewhere where, yeah, it's good to have like the strict minimum and appreciate what you have, but it's also good to, be able to have that opportunity to go far in life also, right? And not just be restricted all the time as well.
True. Yeah, just not always have your own and what you're comfortable with and what you like necessarily, because personal growth comes when you challenge yourself and experience new things as well. It's not bad to have FOMO and be like, oh, I wish I could go to this country and visit it. It's fine. It's just don't make yourself miserable by just engaging
Yeah,
in that.
if you can't do it at the present moment, right?
Exactly. And see why you're engaging in FOMO, right? One of the causes was unhappy people mostly engage in it. So if you're unhappy, then that's one of the sources that you need to correct first.
Yeah, you have to address the root of the problem.
Yeah. Maybe in that case, you need to spend more time on yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up. And maybe the last thing I could say is just to remember that the grass ain't always greener on the other side.
That's true.
It's a classic quote. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're done today.
All
So
right, that was a good one.
thank you guys for watching.
Thanks.
See you guys next time.
All right, play us out.
Let's do this. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Curiousaholic.
Our show is available on all of your favorite streaming platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher.
If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment letting us know what you've been curious about.
We release new episodes every single week just like this one.
But until next time, stay curious, folks.